Hey everybody, Mr. Ian here, and today we're going to be exploring our sim missions, more specifically, uh, analyzing how velocity changes are affected by the strength of a force. And we're going to be gathering evidence to help us answer this big question: how does the strength of a force affect the velocity change of an object? To do that, you're going to be running a set of missions today. So, what do I mean by that? uh a mission is going to be kind of like a challenge where you have to dive into the sim and look to accomplish a specific goal. The series of missions that you're conducting today are going to be to try to make an object reach a target at a specific velocity. So those are going to be the targets that we've seen and played with in the past. Your challenge is going to be to exert just a single force of any size and direction on the object so that when it hits the target, it has the specific velocity needed. You'll be using information in our data table, which we'll be showing you here, and information in the sim mission itself to help you complete the mission and to collect your data. So you'll have a series of missions that will be running in the sim. So to start, you'll find a link to each mission in the data table, the starting velocity of your object, and the data you'll need to collect once you complete your mission. So for example, for our very first mission, you have the link here, and you'll click on it to get started. You'll see the starting velocity of our object is 0 centimeters per second. And you have four pieces of data that you need to collect. You need to collect what kind of change in velocity does your object have when it hits the target. Does it speed up, slow down, start, stop, or change direction? The direction of the force you applied, left, right, up, or down. The strength of a force, which will be a specific number. And then the change in velocity that occurs in centimeters per second. So, this first mission, we're going to break down and look at how to complete it so you understand how to complete the next 7. So, if we're going to be completing mission number 1, I'd click on the sim link. And when I get there, you'll see the mission goal at the top. Hit the target with a horizontal velocity of 2 centimeters by exerting a force only once. So, you'll see our object here had a starting velocity of 0, like we saw in the data table. And below the target, it says 2 centimeters per second. So for mission 1, the task is to try to hit the target with a horizontal velocity of 2 centimeters per second. So I'll start by hitting the run button, which is up here in the middle of our build, run, analyze page. And you'll set up the strength of your force that you want to exert. To do that, you'll press the prepare force. That's that button up here at the top of the screen. When you do that, you'll see that the bottom force window will light up, and your job will then be to press the arrows in the force panel that point in the direction you want to exert the force. So obviously, in order to get my object to this target, I need to apply a force to the right. And you can press the arrow multiple times. So I'd click the right arrow as many times as I feel that I need in order to get my object from here to here with its starting velocity of 0 and its ending velocity at 2 centimeters per second. So once you have the number of clicks for your force arrows, you're then going to hit exert force. So that's going to be that blue button you see up here at the start. So you can see your results. So if you notice at the very start, there's a blue exert force button. Click it once you've added your force. And if the mission is successful, the object will disappear. So see how it disappears? That means I hit the target with 2 centimeters per second. Once I've done that, I'm going to hit the analyze button here at the top. That will allow me to analyze the data needed for the data table. So if you remember, this is my data table up here. That was my mission link. I started at 0 centimeters. I need to record these 4 bits of information. So the scrubber bar will replay the action so you can go back and collect everything you need for these 4 pieces of data. So for example, when I rewind it, I see that my arrow is pointing to the right. So the direction of the force I need is to the right. I see that the force of the strength of the force is 20. So I would put 20 there. I can also look at the table or the data table in the sim to show more information about the change of velocity and its starting velocity and what needed to happen. So if you notice, for example, my starting velocity was 0, and then my current velocity was 2 when I hit the target. Meaning the change in velocity wasn't to speed up or slow down, it was to start moving. So it started moving. And I know that its change in velocity from 0 to 2, if I'm looking at my data table here, was 2. So that would be my change in velocity. So that is how I know, number one, that I completed my mission, and number two, how I go about recording my data in the data table. So go ahead and take a second with your survey. Do you understand how to complete the 8 missions in the sim? Do you understand how to record the mission data in the data table? If you and your group put your X's in green, obviously good luck with your missions. If you put your X's in yellow or red, make sure you reach out if you're confused or need help of any kind. Good luck with your missions.